Real life is not as simple as math class, and there are situations in which there's more than one value you don't know. This is also sometimes the case in word problems. To solve these problems using algebra, use the same process. Understand, plan, and then do the math. But you need to think through the problem carefully to identify what information you know and what you don't know before you translate the problem to an equation. Here's an example. The perimeter of this rectangle is 38 centimeters. We don't know the dimensions, but we do know that the length of the rectangle is 5 centimeters more than the width. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. Well, we don't know either the length or the width, so how do we solve this problem? The first step is to understand. So here's our rectangle. We know that the perimeter is 38 centimeters. Do we know the width? No. So let's represent that with the variable w. Do we know the length? No, but we do know the relationship between the two variables. We know that the length is 5 centimeters more than the width, so let's label it as w plus 5. Now let's analyze the problem again. What are we asked to find? Well, in this problem we're asked to find the dimensions, so we need to know both the length and the width. Now the second step is to plan. You should remember that the formula for perimeter of a rectangle is that the perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Now let's fill in the things that we know. So we have an equation to work with. So we know that the perimeter is 38. We don't know the width, but we do know that the length is equal to the width plus 5. So that means that the length is 2w plus 5 plus 2w. So the third step is to solve and then check our answers. So I'm going to rewrite this equation up here at the top to give myself more room. Right, so the perimeter is 38, which is equal to 2 times the length, which is w plus 5, plus 2 times the width. Now we're going to start by using the distributive property to get rid of the parentheses. So we have 38 equals 2 times w is 2w, plus 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2w. Now we're going to group like terms. So 38 equals 2w plus 2w is 4w plus 10. We're going to use the principle of equality for addition and subtraction. And in order to get rid of the plus 10 on one side, we'll subtract 10 from both sides. So 38 minus 10 is 28 equals 4w. Now you can see here that the w is on the right and we'd rather isolate it on the left. Well, since 28 is equal to 4w, then 4w is also equal to 28, so we can just flip it. We can say 4w equals 28. Now to isolate the w, we need to do the opposite. We've got 4 times w, so we're going to divide by 4, and those will cancel out. And 28 divided by 4 is going to be equal to 7. So w is equal to 7. So what have we found? Well, we found the value of w, which is the width, and the width is 7. Now we know that the length is equal to w plus 5, and 7 plus 5 is 12. So the length is 12. We have found the dimensions. Now finally, it's time to check the answers by substituting them into the original equation. So let's use the original formula for finding perimeter. We know that perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. The perimeter we know was 38. 2 times the length is 12 plus 2 times the width, which is 7. So 38 is equal to 2 times 12 is 24 plus 2 times 7 is 14. 24 plus 14 gives us 38 equals 38. Since both sides are equal, we know that our answer is true.